Have you ever wondered what full-time beekeepers really do on a daily basis? Well, I am going to let you in behind the curtain and show you what it looks like to build a beekeeping business from scratch. My mornings normally start off around 5 a.m. Although I am a full-time beekeeper, I am also a full-time mom of 4 kids, 2 cats, 1 dog, and millions of bees. I start my mornings off by walking a trail close to my house with my eldest kids. I believe health and movement is key to a healthy body. And since I have been neglecting my body for such a long time, I made the commitment in 2024 that I will hit that 10,000 steps challenge and every single day. And walking in nature is such an amazing way to re-energize yourself. I find walking between the forests, walking inside of nature really breaks all of that stress that weighs on top of your shoulders. I don't know about you, but I just find it so relaxing and so stress relieving being out in nature every single morning. And at the same time, I get to work on my 10,000 step goal. Now, I also get to spend time with my older kids, and that is such a growth moment for me and for them as I get to share some of my learnings from my life with them. And I get a moment to peek into their brains and just see what they're about. It's such a great way for me to connect with them. Now, if this is the first time that you are seeing my video, welcome to my apiary. My name is Marnie. I'm a beekeeper here in the beautiful country of South Africa, the home of the amazing African honeybee. I started my beekeeping journey about 2 years ago, and today I boast with over 50 hives bred from buying one single hive and catching many swarms. I was able to grow my apiary by expanding my knowledge and applying everything that I'm learning. And this is the same thing that I'm trying to do with my channel. I want to help other beekeepers find their passion. Now, recently, one of my friends and fellow beekeepers gave me a call and said, Marnie, I've got a problem. I've got a failing queen. Do you have one of your breeding queens for me? I was more than happy to help him out and get him a much needed queen bee for this colony. Now, this colony is an absolutely amazing colony. He did, however, catch them with one of his boxes on the back of his vehicle. That means it was a free swarm that simply just moved into the box, which is absolutely beautiful. But for some reason, their queen was damaged during the process, or let me rather say injured during the process, and she stopped laying eggs. Now that means death for a colony. If the queen fails, then they will have no new young bees coming in. Now, you might say to yourself, well, why would this be death for this colony? Well, it is death for this colony because they have no young larva to turn into a queen. She literally failed, and the comb that is inside of this hive was made by other bees. So she did start laying a little bit of brood, and then for some odd reason she stopped, and all the brood that was inside of this box could not be turned into a queen. And this is the moment that we as beekeepers need to step in and help this hive out. Now, I am going to tell you guys there is a trigger warning. We're about to kill the old queen, so this is the moment to look away if you don't want to see a bee die. I know, it's really awful. I don't like doing this all the time, but I keep the same philosophy as my bees. My bees are all about the hive. They are all about their fellow sisters and doing what is the best for all the bees. I love good quality coffee, and having a nice, good cup of coffee with raw, unfiltered honey is amazing. before I jump away with my daily beekeeping activities. I have switched to raw, unprocessed honey for over 2.5 years now, and my digestive system has never been better. The African honeybee is under the top 5 producers of medicinal honey in the world. That means that our honey is in the top 5 spots when it comes to the medicinal benefits that are inside of this honey, and that is why I decided to become a beekeeper. One of the main reasons for becoming a beekeeper is to make my own honey that is raw and unprocessed. I no longer wanted to just run around and try and determine what honey is unprocessed, what honey is raw. Am I being cheated when I do buy the honey? I wanted the authentic thing, and that is why I decided to become a beekeeper. I also wanted a more clean source and a more authentic source when it came to honey. Another reason why I also became a beekeeper was I was drawn to the call of helping the pollinators to heal our world. We need more beekeepers. We need more bees. Being a small business, I understand the importance of supporting each other. On my way to my apiary, I love to stop and grab my breakfast on the go from the roadside food trucks. My favorite food is definitely roosterkoeken. I love the taste and that everything this guy makes is handmade. It just fits into my daily philosophy and what I'm trying to build in my life. This morning, I decided to make a different choice, and I got myself a Bobotie rooster, and man did I love this. It is mince that has a bit of a sweeter taste to it, and it is then put inside this amazing roosterkoek bread that he made by hand and toasted. It was just absolutely phenomenal and a great way to kick off my day before I get cracking in my apiary. Now, I have some things I need to get done in the apiary today, and first of all, I need to refill the sugar water on the hives. I also need to check on the 3 splits that I did. I did turn one of my big hives, or one of my brood boxes. I had a double brood box on there, and I needed to split them off because they were just getting filled up so quickly. So I need to make sure that each one of them actually made a brand new queen, that she is mated, and that she is laying properly. And then I'm going to introduce you guys to my very, very, very first beehive. This is the hive that made me a beekeeper. It was a hive that my father bought me, and I would really, really love to share this hive with you guys today. Now, just disclaimer, they are a little bit more defensive than other bees, but they are my sweethearts, and I do not see my journey in beekeeping without them. So this is the hive that actually made me a beekeeper. My dad bought me this hive, and we had to travel over half an hour to go and fetch this box. Now, I was so scared to transport them as I only had an enclosed vehicle. Guys, I knew nothing about beekeeping except watching some videos, so fear factor 1000. For that matter, I did not even have a suit at this point. I had just brought them home, placed them on the stand, and then I ran my butt off when I opened up the hive entrances, because I just saw some videos where when people open up these entrances, bees come boiling out, and I wasn't about to get stung. Yes, I did at least do the removal of the bee during the evening at night, so they were not as aggressive, but yeah, still a very, very scary experience for me. And in my defense, guys, I have ordered the suit, and it had not arrived by that time, so that is why I didn't have my suit yet. Now, my kids did name this queen because she is our first queen. I don't graft from her. I simply keep her as my builder queen, And my kids decided to call her Queen Juliet. She is a nice, big, fat brown queen, and she is very productive. Although they are very defensive, they are very, very productive. I use them to build out empty frames of comb to help other colonies. They also help out with brood and nursing bees if another colony needs it. I have turned them into a brood factory due to their massive productiveness. This queen really runs a very tight ship. This hive is over 5 years old. They were requeened just before I got them, so Queen Juliet is about 2 years old. She has made 3 queens in the past, but they have since been requeened with calmer queens. When I got this colony in the beginning, there were only 4 frames of bees, and their comb was awful. Just before I went to go and fetch them, the beekeeper was robbed and half of his hives were vandalized. The beekeeper was able to recover them, and they were a colony the size of my hands. It took Queen Juliet about 8 months to recover her losses, and now she is boasting a double brood box that is 20 frames of bees, and they are currently filling their super as we speak. I am very excited to harvest from them this year, as this will be the first honey crop that I get to keep. I refused to harvest from them as I wanted them to grow strong, as they were the backbone of my apiary's growth. I cannot tell you how many hives they have saved by supplying them with all of the resources those hives so desperately needed. I do not graft from this colony at all, and I do split them as I do want to create more brood factories. She is the backbone to my brood factory expansion. I was planning on splitting them this year and increasing the amount of brood factories I have on hand. I'm sure you are really confused with me mentioning a brood factory the whole time, so let me explain to you guys what a brood factory is. In simple terms, it is a hive that you create to build up resources in. Instead of letting the hives that are that needs resources. So if you have a hive that has too little brood, or they were unsuccessful in raising a queen, or they are battling to draw out comb, whatever they are battling with, I can simply go to Queen Juliet's box and I can go and draw the necessary resources from her box and place them into other hives for them to utilize and build it up. She's also the backbone on building more comb for these hives. So instead of them having to build out comb and fill this comb up with honey and that, Queen Juliet and her team does it for the apiary. Now, I believe my brood factories was the cornerstone of my success, as I always have additional resources available when I needed it. My best advice I would give to anyone wanting to start with beekeeping is to jump into the deep end. There is more than enough information online to get you started, and the only way you will learn is by doing. The more you do, the more you grow. I am the beekeeper I am today because of my bees. It is not the beekeeper that makes the bees. It is the bees that make the beekeeper. Guys, it was such an amazing time to showcase my very first hive to you guys, and thank you so much for supporting my journey. If you are interested in some of the products that my bees produce, please jump onto my website. Maybe if you want to keep following my beekeeping journey, then hit that subscribe button. I would also appreciate a like, only if you enjoyed the video. Maybe if you are interested in getting into beekeeping, check out my new online course on my website. It's a really good backbone for you to get started in beekeeping. I built this for myself. I created this training for a younger or earlier version of myself. I wanted something that, or let me rather say, I wanted the information put in a certain way that would have helped me to build my beekeeping business a lot better. And this is where I created this course. It's almost like I'm presenting it to a younger beekeeper that is myself. But guys, as always, thank you so much for being a part of this journey. I really appreciate you guys watching this video, taking the time to see what I'm up to. So as I always say on the channel, guys, may you have a bee-rific day, and I'll see you guys next time.